revitalize and empower communities of color and places where unemployment and poverty remain stubbornly high.
Joining me now is New York Democratic Congressman Gregory Meeks. He's chairman of the Congressional Black Caucus, and he is a Clinton supporter. Thanks for joining us, Congressman Meeks.
That's the Congressional Black Caucus's PAC.
PAC. Okay, fair enough. So Hillary Clinton's had a string of losses here, smaller states. She's ahead in the polls in New York. How much does she need New York? Not so much in the delegate count, because we know of her substantial lead there, but just in terms of the narrative of ending this losing streak.
Well, let's be clear, because, you know, comparing the states of which we say she lost and New York and the states in which she won, where they're large, they're diverse. There are also states where you have primaries. Bernie Sanders wins when there's caucuses. So this is tremendously different. And I think that as you get into New York and Maryland and Pennsylvania, diverse, large primary states, clearly Hillary wins, and she wins big. And I think that that's what you're going to be seeing in the next few days.
In the last several days, the Clinton campaign has had some difficult, even embarrassing moments with the African-American community. You had Bill Clinton shouting down the Black Lives Matter protesters, which he then apologized for. But then you had this really just awkward joke using a racial, disparaging comment. As you know, I don't need to repeat the joke at this point. Why? First of all, why? And second of all, what does Clinton have to say now? What does the African-American community have to hear from Hillary Clinton to put this behind her?
Look, number one, it was this Inner Circle show, which is a parody, right, which folks playing all kind of games that are supposed to be comical and people talking about one another. And I think that the mayor of the city of New York has already said that he was responsible. You know, he did not write the skit, but he approved it. And he is, so it was in context of that. So you got to look at the perspective and the context.
We know the Clinton campaign is pretty hands-on. I have to think they were shown the script of that joke before as well.
Well, I'm just going by what the mayor said,
okay,
and the mayor was very clear on that, the other night and a couple last few days. But I think that what the African-American people are looking at is Hillary's record, as well as what Hillary was looking to do, which she just talked about at the National Action Network. When you talk about her as a senator, people forget that it was Hillary Clinton, back when she was running for the Senate, it was Rudy Giuliani who was threatening to run against her. And it was Hillary Clinton who was going against his policies, talking about how we're going to end racial profiling, talking about how we have to revise the criminal justice system. It was Hillary Clinton who stood up strong against Rudy Giuliani. The African-American community remembers that. The African-American community remembers the fact that it was Hillary who first, it was Hillary Care before we got to Obamacare, and when they stopped it, that she continued to fight to get 8 million children health care. It was Hillary Clinton that has been with us as we go around the country and trying to elect more members to the Congressional Black Caucus, as Democrats, etc., so that we can have power not only in the presidency, but also in the Senate and in the House, which helps move the agenda forward that will help the African-American community.
So you say they'll focus on those issues, not on moments like this. I want to ask you about the tone in the Democratic race, because it got dirty between Clinton and Sanders, and then they seemed to declare a 24-hour truce, and then it got rough again. What kind of tone do you expect to see in the debate tomorrow night? Well,
I would hope that Senator Sanders does not use the Republican talking points anymore, because that's what he's been doing. Senator Clinton is so good that the Republicans knew, and some of this came out with Congressman McCarthy. It slipped. He might have been Speaker today had he not slipped and told the truth, that the Republicans came up with the Benghazi committee just to try to discredit Hillary Clinton. And they couldn't do that when they had the hearing. She just showed everyone after the 11 grueling hours that she was a competent, strong, well-organized, thoughtful person. So I hope that the Republican talking points that Mr. Sanders has been utilizing recently, that he does not use it in the debate. And let's stick to what he said initially. Let's talk about the issues that are important.
Final question before we go. Chances of a contested convention on the Democratic side. Will Hillary Clinton have a majority by convention?
Yeah, I think it's clear. She's a clear winner in the pledged delegates. She's going to have, you won't need, but it would just show the unity with the super delegates. I think that, in fact, it's funny because initially folks were talking about superdelegates. It's Bernie Sanders now that's concerned and said he's going to flip superdelegates. Hillary will have the pledged delegates and the superdelegates, and I hope Mr. Sanders then comes on board and we have a unified Democratic Party, because the real enemy is, and I shouldn't use the word enemy, but the opposition is